Hello, I'm Prospective Independent MP Paul Brown in Great Yarmouth. Thank you so much for watching, it really is appreciated. This video is my take on the potentially thorny issue of immigration. You are now viewing my idea. I would urge you to stick with it after hearing the idea, as I will explain my reasoning after. Here goes. Any migrant who has sought solace in this country of ours, if the individual seeking asylum breaks the laws of our land, upon conviction they get deported to the country on their passport. I will explain why I think this is a possible solution to some of the concerns of the good people of this once great nation, but first I will give a little flavour of why, through my career, migration has been important. As stated in a previous video, I spent 20 plus years in the care sector, and during this time I have worked with many different nationalities from many different continents, Africa, Europe, even a couple from Australia, although I think that was some sort of working visa thing, or some sort of temporary visa. Please do not quote me on that, but I've worked with them. Without these migrant workers, I would not have been able to do the job to the extent that I did. It is that simple. And the service users, their lives would have been lessened without the aid of the migrant workers. It is that simple. I do understand the effect of the Conservative mantra of we're doing something, but we can't, for whatever reason. The House of Lords being the main culprit with regards to the Rwanda bill. It went backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. But considering the Conservatives have been in power for 14 years, it would appear that they've been the ones that should have been controlling immigration anyway. And if the best they can come up for is the white elephant of a £500 million Rwanda deal, does make you wonder, well, it makes me wonder, because that amount of money, and when you consider the Michel Moan PPE debacle, it just smells a little bit fishy. And with regards to it being a deterrent, so we're paying £500 million for 300 people. Now, if I was a migrant or immigrant coming to this country, I would be thinking, 300 people, how many people are there already seeking asylum? Is it more than 300? In which case, I'll give it a go, because the chances are I'm not going to get deported. I mean, I use the word white elephant. It's just ridiculous. I don't see the reasoning behind it at all. Oh, it's a deterrent. What, 300 people? Yeah, okay. More than that came over the boat in. Came over on boats in March. Well, now let's have a look at the other parties. Reform. Well, they would take us out of the European Court of Human Rights if necessary, but they seemingly have forgot to tell people that the European Court of Human Rights doesn't just cover migration. They have laws for forced labour, equal treatment, property rights. I mean, take us out, and I'm not saying the governing party would take advantage of this, but they would have the opportunity to. Yeah. Sorry, it just makes me laugh. The impact that would have could be, oh, well. I would love to talk about the other parties, but no one seems to have set in concrete yet what their plans actually are, other than the Labour Party have said that they intend on lowering. And going back to the European Court of Human Rights, I've just looked at my notes. This just in, Bloomberg have reported that Rishi Sunak is mulling over leaving the European Court of Human Rights to lure back potential reform voters. Same sentiment, different party. So why the idea of deporting lawbreakers? Well, if you come to our country to make a better life, would you then abuse this by committing a crime? In the same way, if someone offered me a bed for the night, I was in an area I didn't know, and they kindly said, yeah, you can stop with me, and I stopped for the night and then in the morning walked off with the television, I would expect to be punished for it. It is that simple. It's not something that you do. Sorry, I might need to turn the page again. Not being a solicitor, I cannot say for certain, but I would like to argue that the occupants of a country have the right, for example, not to be stolen off. This pushes up prices. Theft is a crime that ultimately gets paid by everyone. Losses need to be covered, let alone infringement on the human rights for the victim of any crime that involves an individual. If you are coming to this country to rip us off, like the Bulgarian gang who managed to steal £53.9 million off us, if they knew they would be deported after being convicted of a crime, would they have come in the first place to try it? Is it a deterrent to those who just want to come here and see what they can steal? I also think it would be a good idea to educate in our language and our ways. Making schooling compulsory whilst waiting to be processed, this may reduce feelings of unease among citizens who walk past a group of people not speaking a language they understand. The unease would be lessened if the citizen is aware that the person speaking the language they don't understand knows they will be deported if they commit a crime. Basically, don't do the crime if you don't want to pay for it. If you think this is a good idea, the next time you have the opportunity to speak with anyone from a political party, tell them, I'm giving it away. Greens, Lib Dems, Independents, Labour, SNP, basically anyone who does not have a policy already in place. I'd rather not step on any toes with regards to the ones that have got policies. Many thanks for sticking with it. It really is appreciated. Have a good rest of it, and like and share can get us there. Night.